Hey guys, hope everything is okay with you. I usually don't do these kind of videos, but I feel like I kind of need to make some kind of statement about how the community is and how the game is right now. So I have 3 topics I kind of want to talk about, and those are like the hate that is going around the the community between players and content creators. We have the exploits, and then we have the state of the game. First of all, I'm sorry if I look tired. I'm trying to like change my schedule for work on Monday, and it's going not very good. We're playing way too much Evil Dead. Anyway, so I know that there is a lot of people that dislike me, and that is totally fine by me. It is absolutely fine. And I have community members of mine that dislike other people that maybe I don't always agree with, but you know, that's totally fine as well. I just want to say that real quick, that even if we disagree with other people, we can't go over to those people's channels or on Reddit or whatever and spread more hate than there already is. Even if people hate on me, you cannot spread hate back. Civil discussions and stuff like that, that's totally fine, but you can't keep spreading hate. It just gets worse. So yeah, please stop. Secondly, I want to talk about exploits. Not the exploits in itself, but more about how people perceive exploits or unfairness in the game. As soon as something is unfair or seen too strong, players immediately start bashing the opposing player about it. Some examples, we have animation canceling on demons, car blocking, window vaulting, car hopping. And now you would ask yourself, what do you mean window vaulting? Well, you know, Alucard, the streamer, he sent a request to Saber support where he asked different kind of questions, but the main question was if window vaulting, jumping back and forth between a window, if that was an exploit. And the answer he got back was that yes, it's an exploit. The thing is, they still haven't patched the window vaulting. Instead, they buffed the demons so they also can do window vaulting, which means that they confirmed the window vaulting as an exploit from the survivors. They still allow the survivors to window vault, but now they actually added an extra exploit for the demons to window vault. You see what I'm going with this? So ask yourself this: have you ever played Survivor and you do a heavy attack with a melee weapon, and right after, like the split second after the heavy attack lands, you press the space bar or your dash button and you jump to the side just so the demon can't hit you? Yes, exactly. That's a animation cancel that is still in the game. So if we compare that to the demon side, you have demons that animation cancel, and that was an exploit, but we still have the survivor in the game that can still do this, and there's a lot of players that actually do this. All the good players do this, but they are not exploiting. Very confusing to me. So it's very hard to tell if something is an exploit until it actually gets patched out. The problem is that you don't see demons complain about this issue. It's actually extremely strong because they can avoid an attack extremely easy, and they can land their own attack and just completely avoid the demon's attack. And to be honest, personally, I actually don't give a shit. If it's in the game, it's something we can use. I mean, yeah, sure, there are some obvious stuff We remember like the machete bug. We remember the pink F exploit. I mean, they are quite obvious, but I mean, it's not the player's responsibility to manage the gameplay in the game. It's actually the developer's job to fix these stuff. It's our job to report it, and it's their job to fix it. So before you start like complaining on people that they are exploiting animation canceling or whatever, like, everybody just use the tools we have in the box. And the more you complain about the tools, the more they're gonna take away from us. They're already stripped all the animation canceling from all the demons now. So now everything is extremely stale to play. For example, as a warlord, there's no chance in hell you can beat a full survivor team. It is absolutely impossible to beat a full stack survivor team if they know what they're doing, because every attack you do against them, they're able to dodge, unless if your AI by RNG accidentally puke on a survivor, and yeah, you follow up on that. That's the only way you can get any hits in. Otherwise, it's completely impossible. So the only way you have as a warlord to actually beat the survivors is by breaking the book, which is not the most fun gameplay. The game should be about fighting the survivors and killing the survivors. The whole book phase, in my opinion, is just complete garbage. It is. It's like I don't know. It's some kind of, I don't know. It just feels like a DPS race. So it really depends on what gear the survivors get. If they get good gear, they have a chance. If they don't get good gear, they don't have a chance. If they don't have the right composition, they don't have a chance either. Very, very stale gameplay. So yeah, I really hope they do something about the book phase, but because it's not good. And also playing demon and not being able and have this hopeless feeling where you're like, okay, I'm gonna swing at a survivor, and you know for a fact that they're just gonna dodge. They're gonna do their heavy attack and dodge, and when he's out of stamina, well, Henry gets in front of you and presses Q button, so he's completely immune, and yeah, you can't do anything about that. So yeah, and anybody who says get good clearly doesn't play the game against good survivors, for sure. If you play against a good full squad, there's no way. It's almost impossible to land any hits at all. So I kind of want to touch on the third subject, and that is the state of the game. To me, playing as demon in this patch currently, it's absolutely awful. It is so boring. There's not much you can do. Before you actually could do stuff early game. The problem is if you go against a full 4 stack of survivors, it's not usually not much of an outplay you can do, and it all depends on the book phase. So for example, if you play warlord, it's all about the book. It's all about the book. I know for a fact if I go into a game with a full 4 stack, I know it's gonna be all about the book and how much of an RNG the group has to get good loot. Because if they don't get good loot, they lose the game straight up. But if they spend too much time finding good loot, I'm gonna get my levels. I'm gonna get my level to 21, and then I win the game. So if you queue as a demon today, you're gonna have pretty much instant queues, because nobody wants to play demon anymore. It is way too boring. There's no way for outplay. It is so stale. There's like no perk system. There's nothing to grind for. There's absolutely nothing to gain from playing demon anymore. Survivor, on the other hand, is more fun because you have the loot system. It has a little bit of FPS elements in it. There's a little bit more skill involved, teamwork, etc. Demon, extremely stale. And yeah, I don't know. The game is quite boring in the current patch. And the funny thing is, when they decided to remove animation canceling, I think it was to, I mean, let's face it, pre-made teams really, if we take the puke animation canceling, for example, we didn't really have pre-made teams or good survivors really never had a problem with it. It wasn't really a problem. So the problem was for the solos, or like the newbies that were playing the game, that they were getting absolutely stomped. And the thing is, they still get absolutely stomped by good demons anyway early in the game. So I'm not sure what they actually accomplished by doing this. They just made the game more stale and more boring to play as a demon, because yeah. So I don't know what I don't know what the whole point was. I know a lot of people complain about it, but it really didn't help. It just made it even worse for demons. So now, as a demon, they buffed endgame for demons. Now you just have to wait for endgame. There's no point of playing early game at all. Yeah, especially if we're gonna break the book as a warlord, for example, for like almost every game, you're just gonna break the book, which is, in my opinion, extremely boring. So I kind of want the game to go back to kill the survivors, don't kill the book. Killing the book, let's face it, is fucking boring. No, everybody hates it. I even made a meme thing where I went AFK and pretty much just leveled through doing just trapping everything, and then do nothing the entire game and just try to break the book. People actually think it's a strategy, but it wasn't meant to be a strategy at all. It was just a way for me to show how the game is. It's in a very boring and very weird state right now. And it's kind of sad because I love the game, but the current patch is so bad. It's so bad. I just feel like I don't know if I'm gonna play the game. Like, I don't feel like I'm gonna play the game anymore, because how bad the state is. And it really tells in the queues that the queue times are terrible. It's absolutely terrible, which is it's sad. It's sad. It's a good game, or at least it was. I don't know what to say more. I hope they fix this, because it's actually absolutely boring. Yeah, have a good day, everybody. See ya.